Hello. I'm a mom. This is the vulnerable station. I am wearing absolutely no makeup. I am very, very pale. My hair is not done. But if we did all of those things, then we wouldn't have time for the video. So that's the current situation. My light that I normally use just doesn't turn on again. It's been that long. So I have to get a new light, and in the absence of that we have daylight, which currently consists of torrential rain, wind, heavy cloud cover, very in and out, very all over the place. So this isn't going to look great. This is how we're showing up. We're showing up imperfectly. I feel very strange talking to a camera again. It has been, I'd say, about 11 months since I have actually sat down and filmed a video. How do I sum up the last 11 months? There really is no way to do it. And really it's just about ripping the band-aid off and coming back, because I know that I do want to come back and I do want to continue making videos. But when it's been that long and so much has happened and you almost feel like a different person, I haven't really known how to, but that is where we're at. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to show you some clips from a couple of months ago, which was kind of the first time that I had actually properly cared for my plants postpartum. And we'll see how the room got on, considering I gave birth in November, so it was over winter and the plants were almost barely even watered. And if they were watered, it was very sparingly. And this room just really got quite chaotic. But this is how it actually looked from November until June. So we had gone through spring and the beginning of summer, really, before things were properly cared for. So you will hear baby noises, because that is just the reality of where we are at. I really wanted to show you a true, honest look of how the plant room is after 7 months of almost no care, aside from panic watering every couple of weeks. There wasn't really a whole lot of watering in the first 3 months, but we were in the depths of winter, so I feel like that actually just coincided super well. Some things are pretty impressive and some things are like not looking so great, but at the same time very, very impressive with how little I have cared for these things. And some plants have done really interesting things. So I guess I want to give you a raw look. This includes no cleaning, mess, water dripping, dry leaves, crusty. We're in it, okay? We're 7 months postpartum with postpartum depression and an extremely horrific recovery. So this is where we are. And I wanted to be really honest about that. But I have to say that I am also super impressed with my plants. And with anything that's like a collection, it tends to grow with you. And my plant collection has done that. And this period of my life has had a lot of, you know, neglect. And my plants have very much reflected that. So we have the squamiferum is actually looking pretty good behind here. But we have one problem that's not quite obvious to the camera, but this pole, if I touch it, is extremely bent forward to the point where it's either going to crack the plant or make the pot fall. Beside this then we have Postpartum, which is doing some interesting things. Actually it has three yellowing leaves here, one significantly yellow. As you can see, this is a watering issue because we're actually just back from 3 weeks away as well. I did have my sister come on one of the days in those 3 weeks and do like emergency watering. Dada! But I think it was just too much for this because we also had a really big heat wave. This is what happens when you just leave your plants alone. So we have 2 branches here. One is at almost a 90-degree angle, has come out all the way up here, sprouted a leaf. There's a crusty leaf. Yeah! There's a crusty leaf back there. Right, we have some lovely nectar there. extra floral nectaries, and then it's just done this weird thing. Hasn't put out leaves except for that weird one. It's searching, right? It's searching. Please give me some support. So it's kind of an interesting way to see how the plant has reacted. So look, we have fantastic sturdy support that aerial roots can really stick to up until here. Once you remove that from the equation, you have a plant that's really just searching. It's really trying to survive here, which literally feels like me. But anyway, yeah, so that's what that's doing. Quite interesting. Really, the only way to deal with this is to cut it, unfortunately. Like most of these plants, I'm just going to go in and reduce it, because it is also a little bit overwhelming to me, because I'm really pushing the boundary of what these can do, because a lot of these plants are going to start falling over soon, and I don't want that. Here we have begonia, what's it called? There's going to be a lot of I don't knows. This is not doing so great. Again, recent trip got way too dry. Also think it got crushed. I don't know by what, maybe my sister. Yeah, there's quite a lot going on here. I will either trim this back very, very short and restart it, or I will get rid of it entirely, because it does not do well without frequent watering, or it needs a big pot, and it's already in a pretty big pot. Here we have staghorn fern. This was actually doing really great, again, until recently. A couple of these leaves do not look great. They look kind of strugs. And we have browning as well, but otherwise it was doing pretty good. I didn't move it away from the window in the heat wave. Over here we have Hoya. It's actually been fine. It's lost a couple of leaves from yellowing, infrequent watering. It's been okay otherwise. Linearis, which I won't show too much of because it's super backlit, has a few strands that have been struggling, but otherwise it's good. Very sadly, we have the pitcher plants are not doing so great. I knew they wouldn't without regular care. Just got too dry. That's simply what happened there. I don't know what I should do about these, if I should keep them, regrow them. I could, or I could just let them go. Not too sure. Everything is so backlit. Maranta here, yeah, has really struggled. It's lost loads of strands. This used to be super, super full. If you watched my last videos, you might have seen that. It used to be super full. Now all the strands are kind of, a lot of them died off and I had to cut them off. There's even more there that are dead that need to be cut. This needs a repot or it needs to go. Basically, honestly, it just actually grows too successfully for me. It kind of just grows too fast, basically, and I can't keep up with it. Gigas back here is looking all over the place. I love the leaf look of this plant, but I hate the growth habit. It just doesn't look good, and the leaves are shitty and small, and it just doesn't climb very nicely. Philodendron something. That's been doing actually grand, other than getting a bit too dry, and therefore we have a lot of weird kind of misshapen leaves, but otherwise it's been good. What have we got here? We have Hoya. God, it really has been a while. This is Hoya carnosa, Jesus. Fine. It's doing absolutely fine. Yeah, like it's kind of been happy. Anthurium, is it Vitarifolium? Can't remember. This has been the most impressive, and if I was to pick a favorite, this would be it. Like, look at this. Can you even see this? Look at these wonderful leaves, very little care. And I think it's one of my favorite plants in the collection. We did have one weird kind of misshapen, slightly chlorotic, yellowing, probably fertilization, but also flowering. If I had the time, I could have done something about this because we have two at the same time. Very, very nice. Love the, look at that coloring on the, is that called the sheath? Bear with me guys, my brain has been broken down and reformed in motherhood. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I really like this plant. Really, really happy with it. This was tiny and I got while I was pregnant, I think. So All right, back here we have one of the few dead Begonia luxurians. I mean, she didn't stand a chance. She just did not. Is that funny? Yeah, it is. What the heck is this called? Asparagus fern. That's not your typical one. This is impressive. Very, very cool what this plant has done. So the leaves have matured. Okay, let's stand back and try and find her in the frame. We have, that was like an original piece, and now we have all of this, and we have some here. And this has just really impressed me. This is exactly what I chose this plant for in the space. I wanted that kind of bushy greenery that would kind of go everywhere, and that's what it did. I'm surprised it's done so well with such little watering, but yeah, look at those leaves, and look how cool. I love the way they dangle and fall. I just think this has really impressed me. Really, really impressed me. It's beautiful, it feels really soft. It's just gorgeous. ZZ never does much, never did much, never will do much. Is that what we call that? Needs more fertilization, I'm assuming. That never really grew fast anyway, to be honest. I just like the look of it, but as a grower, it's 1 or 2 on a 10-point scale, I'd say. So Hoya David Kamingii, this is a sad one. Even said to my husband last night, I think I'm going to get rid of it. And he went, oh no, I love this one. So it's really struggled. This one got so little water because it doesn't have a tray, and therefore will not get watered because no time. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of strands here that are that clearly got root rot, that are desiccated, that will die. There are some healthy ones still, but I just don't know what to do with it. It's so big. I need to downsize the collection because, you know, these, while they've done great for the last 7 months, they will need care at some point. Still flowering away though. That's what Hoyas do. In here we have a bit of a mess. Hibiscus rosa sinensis, variegated hibiscus basically. I mean, this plant has a fast leaf turnover. Look at all those leaves. But it perks up real quick. I come in here, I think that's definitely going to need water. I throw water on it. That's the one plant in here that I just have to, or it will die. But it actually does recover pretty well too. Wow, look at that. I haven't even seen this myself. It's beautiful. But it does get too big for the space pretty often, like it's already grown through here. Dead. They were some native ferns and some sundews. All the sundews are dead. Oh, no, they resprouted over there. Butterwort, there is no drainage hole in this pot, so it's pretty easy to stay wet. This one did have drainage and clearly was a failure. We have Hoya, cannot remember, absolutely adore, has been actually growing really well. Really, really cool leaf pattern. What's this called? Silver squill. Ooh, needs a big pot. Really struggles with it being too dry. Loses quite a few leaves. But it's still alive. Just needs a bit of help. It's not the Hoya, it's the other one. Has a big white situation going on. What is it called? Dischidia. Cacti are cactiing. This one actually got really much bigger than it was. Doing pretty well. Avonia Propracea, not so well. This Pink Princess, something princess. Yellowing, gets too dry, then gets wet. You know, the situation, needs a new pot. We have a Hoya Bella here, which is actually doing great. It's kind of grown everywhere. There's loads of flowers down here. We have Hoya rotundiflora, actually doing grand, had a couple of yellow leaves just in the last 3 weeks. Down here, I cannot believe baby is being so good. Did I jinx it? Anthurium clarinervium, I mean, it's on its last legs, to be very honest. It definitely has some fungal situation. It did have a flower. It's just not doing so great. Oh, actually, there is a mysterious thing eating stuff in here, right? We have this and we have this. Looks like caterpillar behavior to me, but I cannot find the culprit and it's too messy in here to look. I should have gotten rid of this a long time. Rhaphidophora decursiva. I don't like the growth habit. It's grown all the way up through here. I didn't like the growth habit before. Here we are. I don't know what makes me think I'm going to like it again. I couldn't let go of it. Times have changed. Begonia. I don't know how this is so big in such a small pot. It shouldn't be alive. It should be dead. I don't know. But we'll keep because, like, hello, it's beautiful. Philodendron gloriosum, sad looking, very sad looking, trying to grow, not doing so well. Hoya polynura, still don't like the growth habit. It's in there, it's still alive. We had a begonia masoniana, sad, sad, sad. R.I.P. Hope she's in a better place now. And then we're over here. Sorry guys, I'm moving so fast, but time is limited. We have Philodendron tortum. Quite a few dead leaves in here with some of the shoots I planted below. Underwatering chronically, very bad. We have some lovely bits going on the floor here. We have Philodendron, what's it called? I love this, but I love the leaves, but I hate the growth habit. Sadly, we have some real, that's cross now for you. There you go. That has actually grown all the way out through here. This is it. And all the way back through here, and all the way out through here. And all the way out to the other side. My intention was never to take this much time off of filming, of course, as you may know from my last maternity leave update video. Haha. Things got really mad. Yeah, like any of you moms out there, you will understand on a different level to everyone else. But where are we now? Let's start with that. Baby girl is 10 months old. Mommy is 10 months postpartum. And we're doing well now. We're doing really well now. What an experience, crazy, crazy. But you know, we're kind of getting the hang of things, kind of settling into being a mom, but also doing other things in life. Making YouTube videos, catching up on admin, being a person again, that kind of stuff. We're all doing really well right now. Daddy doing really well. Everything's good. Okay, I go back to work soon. Things will be at a very different pace, really. My maternity leave is coming to an end, which is really sad. But half of it has been wonderful. Half of it was absolutely terrible. Hence why nothing else was happening in life. Because really, to sum it up, survival mode, ultimate survival mode was initiated, and that was a state of being for quite a few months out of absolute necessity, as all survival modes are. I don't really even know how much detail to go into, but let's just do a little ramble while I show you how the plants were. So gave birth, beautiful baby girl, natural traumatic birth experience, which I feel is something that I had difficulty with because I did have a natural birth, which is what I wanted, but it was also quite traumatic. I feel like there isn't a lot of space for that sometimes in social media. There is sometimes a projection of if it's natural, then it's a lovely experience. It can also be traumatic, even though you may have your on paper birth wishes actually met. Baby girl got jaundice, so had to go into the NICU for a while, which was obviously devastating. Then mommy got really, really sick. Really sick. I had multiple types of infections. Then I had to be admitted. Baby girl had to come back into hospital with me after she had been cured from the jaundice issues. Yeah, I was just incredibly, incredibly ill, and to a kind of a dangerous level, I would say. Then after that, I had numerous breastfeeding issues. This may be TMI, but to be honest, we're in it now. Breastfeeding was something I always wanted to do, and because of how baby girl was born, it affected her neck tension, and that affected how she latched onto the boob, and that affected milk removal, which led to a series of infections, including a couple of rounds of mastitis, if you've ever heard of it or you've had it. Not a fun time, not a walk in the park. Continued to breastfeed through that. A lot of physical toll on my body when I was also still recovering from multiple other infections. So it was just a lot. It was like trying to get through the next 5 minutes kind of a thing for quite a while. Then baby girl got some digestion issues, which was probably related to the feeding. And then what happened next? It's all kind of a bit of a blur. Basically bedbound, very ill, massive comfort eating, of course, because survival. Not a lot of movement led to a lot of weight gain. I have never in my life been this heavy, and honestly, I believe that I put on far more weight postpartum than I actually did in my pregnancy. The pregnancy weight was related to the baby, but everything after that point, that was pure living on chocolate, yummy foods, do you know? Eating my feelings, trying to get by, you know? So that happened, and then I got another round of mastitis, which did not present in the typical way, and so therefore was missed by a couple of medical professionals, which then developed into a breast abscess, which don't Google pictures of that. Now I have to say, mine never got to the stage of what you see pictures of that. Thank God it all stayed under the skin, but breast abscess made me incredibly sick, infection levels through the roof, kind of a dangerous time, rushed to hospital again. But this time, not a maternity hospital, and therefore had to be separated from baby girl for a couple of days, which was honestly more painful than anything else I was going through. Really, really difficult time, difficult on daddy, difficult on mommy, baby, whole family. Stress, major stress. Eventually got to go home, and the recovery from that breast abscess took probably 3 to 4 months after that initial hospital visit, in which I had to go to a breast clinic once a week and get treatments done, long courses of antibiotics. Painting a picture here of my poor body. Physical toll 1000, off the charts. Recovered from that, and honestly after that, that was a big turning point in my recovery. The maternity leave, everything got better from that point forward. I started taking care of myself. Well, I started being able to take care of myself, let me say. And yeah, then we went on holidays to Lebanon. Baby girl met her family over there. You know, on top of all of this, the emotional toll that all of that experience took on me in a time where no sleep was happening, because baby girl don't sleep, okay? She's not a sleeper. She's a very active child. Does it look like I slept on my face? Because I didn't. Yeah, emotional toll as well, on top of dealing with my own mental health, which has always been fragile. Well, not fragile. I'm a very strong person, but I do have mental health issues and struggle with that and go to constant therapy, which some of you may know. I touch on it every now and again. Postpartum depression. La la la. Of course. I kind of knew I was going to get it, but obviously I actually think if none of the aftermath things happened, I probably wouldn't have, but obviously that's a lot to deal with. Postpartum depression, dealing with all of that. And then commenced emotional and physical healing from that point onwards, using the rest of my maternity leave to recover emotionally and physically, and trying to get to a place where I feel kind of okay again. So here I am filming a video coming from a place of feeling better physically. I have lost a huge amount of weight in a very healthy way, just eating whole foods, lifting weights, doing yoga, being healthy, going for walks, getting outside, all of that stuff. Continue to go to therapy, healing well, feeling good. Here we are. On top of that, like social media wise, that had no place in my life. There was no space for that in my life. That noise belonged nowhere in my reality, basically. And obviously, putting my physical and emotional health above creating content, social media, YouTube, all of that is obviously far more important. So, and because baby girl don't sleep, there ain't a lot of time in the day to get things done. So if there is a bit of time, that time is spent working out, cleaning, showering, and there we go. Time is up. So yeah, on top of that, I obviously spend all of my time with my daughter, and therefore, and also I do not want to share her on social media. That is a choice me and my husband have made as parents. Not something we want to share. We don't want to share her face. We don't want to share her name. What do you film content of when you're with your daughter all of the time and you're just doing day-to-day stuff? I don't really know. There's a lot of people out there that do kind of vlog style, lifestyle, day in the life videos. That's just not something I think people would be interested in from me. It's just not my kind of thing. So anyway, there we are. Here we are. We're back on YouTube. Hello. This is mommy version of Amy. I have started my matrescence process of transformation. I feel like a different person. I think a lot about how I want to show up online, what kind of content I want to make. I still find it difficult to come to a decision on that. I think more slow-paced, relaxed videos like this is probably something that suits me the most. I have really missed this creative outlet. I've missed chatting to you all. I've missed, reading comments and seeing feedback on videos, and also just talking about plants, because obviously everything is baby related. Everything is, what's the baby doing? What should we do about this? It consumes all of the space in your brain. It's nice to just chat about lovely plants. My daughter is very interested in all of the plants. She does want to tear everything down and rip all the leaves of everything at the moment. So thankfully, this office is an entirely separate room. And so this has been the dumping ground for any extra plants that are kind of in her way. So I'm not happy with this room. Really, it's incredibly chaotic. Things are just surviving as I have. There's too much in here. There's not enough space for everything. It's like really crazy in here, to be honest. I don't really know how to tackle that. I don't know if I have time to. I think it will be an incredibly slow process, probably over the next year or so, I'm guessing. There's plants I should get rid of that I don't feel ready to let go of. Always my problem. But yeah, it's chaotic. As far as plant care, watering just happens when I put my daughter in the carrier and we go around and water plants, and she absolutely loves it, thank God, because I do as well. And I really enjoy that time together. I will probably figure out a way how to film without showing her face with doing some of that. Maybe it will be in some of this video. I have been feeling quite emotional about my plants recently because the plants survived. Well, one or two didn't. I'm looking at you, Begonia luxurians. If anybody was going to go, it was her. If anybody. So she's well gone. She got dried up. But my plants were always there in the background of everything that has been going on, and I felt so grateful for my plants, and also like what a wonderful way to use plants as my hobby, as a way to almost find a way back to myself as well, which is so deep, but it's really true. It's a way of kind of feeling like myself again, and not just mamacita and a boob. And that has been really beautiful, and they've always been in the background of everything that I've been doing with my daughter, whether it's, you know, in that survival mode or in this like really happy, cozy, wholesome family mode as well, which has just been so beautiful. You know, I feel so happy that my little girl is going to grow up absolutely surrounded by plants, and maybe she'll take an interest in them and maybe she will not, but they will always be there and her mommy will love them. I have kind of absolutely no idea of what videos to make. As far as coming back, so I'm back, let's say. I do want to start posting on Instagram a bit more. I think I may start a new Instagram account because it's just all kind of shite over there. But in lieu of that, I'm going to put out there and try to upload at least one video a month at the moment. I may, when I go back to work, have a little bit more time than that during the week. We'll see how it goes. I'm not putting any expectations on myself, nor should you as viewers. I'm so sorry. I know that's not very helpful, but that just is the reality of it at the moment. I'm being really gentle with myself and only doing things that are really making me feel that good. So I don't want to put pressure on myself. Let's try for one video a month. A couple of things I want to say in relation to the YouTube channel. First of all, anybody that's new, hello, welcome. This is not normally how I show up. But welcome to the channel. I hope that you've enjoyed any videos that you've watched. To those of you hanging around, I see you. I know you've been watching my videos while I've been gone. And thank you so much, because honestly, I was quite upset and maybe a little bit worried about how my videos would do not uploading for so long. Like the algorithm's hating me now, I'm sure. But, you know, I've seen your comments, I've seen your views. I know that you've been giving me views while I've been away, and that has been so nice of you. I also know I have gotten quite a few new subscribers in the time that I've been gone, and that's really exciting and not something that I expected. So welcome to the channel. I'm really excited to kind of get back into the flow of things, but also like reevaluate the channel and how I want to show up, but also what you most enjoy, to be honest, so that we can make the most of our limited time together. On that note, what kind of videos would you like to see now that I'm back? What is like top of the priority list? To be honest, most of my videos that do the best are things like care tips videos or like genus specific type videos, because they're probably the most searched, to be honest. But I don't know if that like is something that retains my subscribers, if you know what I mean. What do you actually hang around for though? Do you hang around for the chatty stuff? Do you hang around for the more sciencey stuff? Because I really got into that before I took a break. But please let me know down in the comments. Also, please let me know how you guys have been doing for all of this time. What has happened in your lives? I love connecting with you guys that way. Some of you are so generous with, you know, your updates in the comments, and it's something I really miss. And what has been happening in your plants? What's the most exciting thing that has happened in your plant collection while I've been away? Any new flowers of stuff? My Hoya carnosa crimson princess flowered a couple of times this year, which is very unusual for her. My philodendron pedatum flowered like twice. I had to cut my philodendron sagittifolium over there because we came in one day and it had just totally toppled over because it got way too top heavy and it wasn't taken care of. What else has happened? This beautiful fern has just been the star of the show. Let me stand back. Is it going to? No. Yeah, that's kind of the main things. This Epipremnum aureum, Marble Queen has, no, it's not a Marble Queen. It's just Epipremnum aureum. I'm trying to remember all my plant names, guys. Has now kind of fallen off the wall. It reached the top. It's all really chaotic in here. But, you know, they're living. I'm really excited to get back into this. Thank you to those that are sticking around. Thank you to all the new people. really looking forward to getting back into this and back to myself again, you know. So yeah, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thanks for sticking around. Thank you for watching the whole video, and I will see you in the next one, which will be more planty related, but I feel like this was needed after such a long break. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye.